Day 152, Royal Kingdom, 1 Kings 10, Ecclesiastes 8-9, Psalm 8, let's begin. 1 Kings 10. Then, too, the Queen of Sheba, having heard of the fame of Solomon in the name of the Lord, arrived to test him with enigmas. And entering into Jerusalem with a great retinue, and with riches, and with camels carrying aromatics, and with an exceedingly great quantity of gold and precious stones, she went to King Solomon. And she spoke to him all that she held in her heart. And Solomon taught her, in all the words that she had proposed to him. There was not any word which was able to be hidden from the king, or which he did not answer for her. Then, when the Queen of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Solomon, and the house that he had built, and the food of his table, and the dwelling places of his servants, and the rows of his ministers, and their apparel, and the cupbearers, and the holocausts that he was offering in the house of the Lord, she had no longer any spirit in her. And she said to the king, "The word is true, which I have heard in my own land, about your words and your wisdom. But I did not believe those who explained it to me, until I went myself and saw it with my own eyes. And I have discovered that the half of it has not been told to me. Your wisdom and works are greater than the report that I have heard. Blessed are your men, and blessed are your servants, who stand before you always, and who hear your wisdom. Blessed is the Lord your God, whom you have greatly pleased, and who has placed you upon the throne of Israel. For the Lord loves Israel forever, and he has appointed you as king, so that you may accomplish judgment and justice." Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and an exceedingly great amount of aromatics and precious stones. No greater quantity of aromatics was ever again brought forth as these, which the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Then, too, the navy of Hiram, which carried gold from Ophir, brought an exceedingly great quantity of thyine wood and precious stones from Ophir. And the king made, from the thyine wood, the posts of the house of the Lord, and of the house of the king, and citharas and lyres for the musicians. No thyine trees of this kind were ever again brought forth or seen, even to the present day. Then King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba all that she desired and requested of him, aside from what he himself had offered to her from his royal bounty. And she returned and went away to her own land, with her servants. Now the weight of the gold that was brought to Solomon each year was 666 talents of gold. Aside from what was brought to him by the men who were over the tributes, and by the merchants, and by those selling every kind of small item, and by all the kings of Arabia, and by the rulers of the land. Also, King Solomon made 200 large shields from the purest gold. He dispensed 600 shekels of gold for the layers of one shield. And for the 300 crescent-shaped shields of tested gold, there were 300 minas of gold covering one shield. And the king placed these in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Also, King Solomon made a great throne from ivory. And he clothed it with a great quantity of red gold. The throne had 6 steps, and the summit of the throne was rounded in the back section. And there were 2 hands, on one side and the other, holding the seat. And 2 lions were standing beside each hand, with 12 little lions standing upon the 6 steps, on one side and the other. No similar work has been made, ever in any kingdom. Moreover, all the vessels from which King Solomon would drink were of gold. And all the items in the house of the forest of Lebanon were of the purest gold. There was no silver, nor was any accounting made of silver in the days of Solomon. For the navy of the king, once every 3 years, went with the navy of Hiram by sea to Tarshish, bringing from there gold, and silver, and elephant tusks, and primates, and peacocks. And so, King Solomon was magnified above all the kings of the earth in riches and in wisdom. And all the earth desired to see the face of Solomon, so as to hear his wisdom, which God had granted to his heart. And each one brought him gifts, vessels of silver and of gold, clothing and weapons of war, as well as aromatics, and horses, and mules throughout each year. And Solomon gathered together the chariots and horsemen. And he had 1,400 chariots, and 12,000 horsemen. And he placed them in the walled cities, and with the king at Jerusalem. And he caused silver to be as abundant in Jerusalem as stones, and he supplied a multitude of cedars like the sycamores that grow in the plains. And horses were brought for Solomon from Egypt and from Cu. For the merchants of the king were buying these from Cu. And they paid out the established price. Now a 4-horse chariot would be sent from Egypt for 600 shekels of silver, and a horse for 150. And in this manner, all the kings of the Hittites and of Syria were selling horses. Ecclesiastes 8:9. The wisdom of a man shines in his countenance, and even the expression of a most powerful man will change. I heed the mouth of the king, and the commandment of an oath to God. You should not hastily withdraw from his presence, nor should you remain in an evil work. For all that pleases him, he will do. And his word is filled with authority. Neither is anyone able to say to him, "Why are you acting this way?" Whoever keeps the commandment will not experience evil. The heart of a wise man understands the time to respond. For every matter there is a time and an opportunity, as well as many difficulties for man. For he is ignorant of the past, and he is able to know nothing of the future by means of a messenger. It is not in the power of a man to prohibit the spirit, nor does he have authority over the day of death, nor is he permitted to rest when war breaks out, and neither will impiety save the impious. I have considered all these things, and I have applied my heart to all the works which are being done under the sun. Sometimes one man rules over another to his own harm. I have seen the impious buried. These same, while they were still living, were in the holy place, and they were praised in the city as workers of justice. But this, too, is emptiness. For the sons of men perpetrate evils without any fear, because judgment is not pronounced quickly against the evil. But although a sinner may do evil of himself 100 times, and by patience still endure, I realize that it will be well with those who fear God, who revere his face. So may it not go well with the impious, and may his days not be prolonged. And let those who do not fear the face of the Lord pass away like a shadow. There is also another vanity, which is done upon the earth. There are the just, to whom evils happen, as though they had done the works of the impious. And there are the impious, who are very secure, as though they possessed the deeds of the just. But this, too, I judge to be a very great vanity. And so, I praise rejoicing, because there was no good for a man under the sun, except to eat and drink, and to be cheerful, and because he may take nothing with him from his labor in the days of his life, which God has given to him under the sun. And I applied my heart, so that I might know wisdom, and so that I might understand a disturbance that turns upon the earth. It is a man, who takes no sleep with his eyes day and night. And I understood that man is able to find no explanation for all those works of God which are done under the sun. And so, the more that he labors to seek, so much the less does he find. Yes, even if a wise man were to claim that he knows, he would not be able to discover it. I have drawn all these things through my heart, so that I might carefully understand. There are just men as well as wise men, and their works are in the hand of God. And yet a man does not know so much as whether he is worthy of love or of hatred. But all things in the future remain uncertain, because all things happen equally to the just and to the impious, to the good and to the bad, to the pure and to the impure, to those who offer sacrifices and to those who despise sacrifices. As the good are, so also are sinners. As those who commit perjury are, so also are those who swear to the truth. This is a very great burden among all things that are done under the sun, that the same things happen to everyone. And when the hearts of the sons of men are filled with malice and contempt in their lives, afterwards they shall be dragged down to hell. There is no one who lives forever, or who even has confidence in this regard. A living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they themselves will die, yet truly the dead know nothing any more, nor do they have any recompense. For the memory of them is forgotten. Likewise, love and hatred and envy have all perished together, nor have they any place in this age and in the work which is done under the sun. So then, go and eat your bread with rejoicing, and drink your wine with gladness. For your works are pleasing to God. Let your garments be white at all times, and let not oil be absent from your head. Enjoy life with the wife whom you love, all the days of your uncertain life which have been given to you under the sun, during all the time of your vanity. For this is your portion in life and in your labor, with which you labor under the sun. Whatever your hand is able to do, do it earnestly. For neither work, nor reason, nor wisdom, nor knowledge will exist in death, toward which you are hurrying. I turned myself toward another thing, and I saw that under the sun, the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor wealth to the learned, nor grace to the skillful, but there is a time and an end for all these things. Man does not know his own end. But just as fish are caught with a hook, and birds are captured with a snare, so are men seized in the evil time, when it will suddenly overwhelm them. This wisdom, likewise, I have seen under the sun, and I have examined it intensely. There was a small city, with a few men in it. There came against it a great king, who surrounded it, and built fortifications all around it, and the blockade was completed. And there was found within it a poor and wise man, and he freed the city through his wisdom, and nothing was recorded afterward of that poor man. And so, I declared that wisdom is better than strength. But how is it then that the wisdom of the poor man is treated with contempt, and his words are not heeded? The words of the wise are heard in silence, more so than the outcry of a prince among the foolish. Wisdom is better than weapons of war. And whoever offends in one thing, shall lose many good things. Psalm 8. Unto the end. For the oil and wine presses. A Psalm of David. O Lord, our Lord, how admirable is your name throughout all the earth! For your magnificence is elevated above the heavens. Out of the mouths of babes and infants, you have perfected praise, because of your enemies, so that you may destroy the enemy and the revenger. For I will behold your heavens, the works of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have founded. What is man, that you are mindful of him, or the Son of Man, that you visit him? You reduced him to a little less than the angels, you have crowned him with glory and honor. And you have set him over the works of your hands. You have subjected all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, and in addition, the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea, which pass through the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how admirable is your name throughout all the earth!